Although most of the state is in the low risk or yellow phase, the rising case numbers and transmission rates show that we are not out of danger yet.
Travis Wingoodsell. Was trying to go through as much news as I could before I go for a run. But ABC4 News Utah is just too precious to wait until I get back to do a news coverage generally. Yeah. And so the first one, which is the latest one on ABC4 News Utah, on their YouTube channel. Okay, we need to do some camera work here. So the business owners in Ogden are speculating and fearing of speculation that protesters might come to Ogden and go after them. This is dumbass Republican thinking. Oh, protesters, they're gonna come into our homes and stab us. Oh God. And the news is reporting this. That's good. So yeah. The man with the cane has been identified. ABC4 News Utah was the exclusives, as they had the live coverage of the police officer singling him out, charging after him, pushing him with the shield, and then shoving him to the ground on top of that. And then he backs off. Oh, hey, what? Oh, you fell. Oh, wow, man. You got to be at home because you're old. And then the other officer went and helped pick them up, and so the other guy says, oh, I guess I better help him too. So yeah, again, if the police chief, he claims an internal investigation, but yeah, beep. And so nothing's going to be done to the officer. He's going to get away with it. You know, they had Sim Gill. He's among 39 other attorneys generals who are speaking out against the murder of George Floyd. Well, you're not speaking out against the murder of George Floyd if you're arresting protesters. Because remember, none of the officers who were injured, oh, the poor babies, none of them would have been injured if they just stayed in their homes, just stayed at the office, and didn't report for duty to go and attack American citizens, Utah residents. If they just stood down and let them protest, none of that would have happened. The police provoked the self-defense on the officers. And that's how you need to understand it. What came first? Because, you know, the officers are going to disregard what came first for them to say, oh yeah, we're you know, trained to de-escalate. Yeah, they didn't de-escalate, did they? Not according to the definition that the rest of us in society use. It's the police definition, which means when we kill you, we will have de-escalated the situation. And so, shame on Black Lives Matter Utah. I shouldn't have to say that, but they've neglected that fact of what came first. The immortal Reverend Al Sharpton, isn't it? Am I getting the right guy? Yeah, Al Sharpton. There are so many legendary civil rights activists who have contributed to American history and deserve thanks. He understood and taught the crowd that it is the police officer who murdered George Floyd that started this whole thing. Don't get distracted by the property damage and other stuff. It is all based on the police officer who executed a man in custody. And those other officers who refused to stop him, who aided and abetted in the execution, and then go and plead the fifth. Now, what do the police officers tell us citizens if we plead the fifth? Oh, that just means you're guilty, right? Screw your rights. It means you're guilty. And so I've got a clip that I'm going to show at the beginning of this that I got from COVID-19 liquor stores whatever it's called, segment. It sums the whole thing up that we're going through. I'm catching up on another show, but Gary Herbert, he sent people back to work. He downgraded Utah to all clear, and so Mormons in Utah are all flooding the streets, not wearing masks. As the coronavirus numbers, as ABC4 News Utah, they don't condemn Governor Herbert. They just contrast it. And that's a perfect summation for Utah, is that Governor Herbert does something stupid, does something that puts Utahns in danger, and the news just reports contrary without condemnation. Condemn him. My God. So, yeah, don't lose focus on what started this. And now, Mormons, let me remind you of the Book of Mormon. Remember, Laman, he taught his children to neglect what started it. Between the Nephites and the Lamanites, Laman ignored the fact that he was beating up on his brother Nephi, and that he was going to kill Nephi. And that's why Nephi had to flee for his life, to go to another promised land. God. It's just, come on, Mormons. I think that is it. Oh, yeah. Apparently, Layton is the place to buy a house. They're cheap. There was a house fire in Layton, estimated $100,000 in damages. Huh. Just $100,000, huh? For a house. Oh, wait, no, that includes the furniture and the other stuff inside the house that was also lost. So, wow, so maybe $50,000 for the house in Layton. So I'm sure we're going to see a huge exodus now of people wanting to go to Layton to buy homes. Because elsewhere in Utah, it's over $300,000 for a new home, unfurnished. So yeah, go to Layton. Houses are cheap. So yeah. So good for ABC4 News Utah on following up with a man who was beaten up by the cops. He was just there to observe. He claims he was there to take pictures. I don't see a camera. Yeah, I'm not going to concern myself about it.